I'm reviewing Green Day's Nimrod with a twist, ballyhoo. What if Nimrod was a concept album about... Nimrod actually has a lot of commonality with American Idiot, if you think about it. But don't think about it just yet. Nimrod is the beginning of Green Day ditching that stupid subgenre called punk rock and really utilizing the musicianship contained within Billy, Mike, and Trey. Out of the 18 tracks, only a few of them feel at home on earlier Green Day albums. Reject, Jinx, and All the Time. And Nimrod opens on a song that kind of is in that vein, but already showing signs of evolution. A very bad word in the eyes of punk rock purists. Did I mention that Nimrod was my first Green Day album? I heard Good Riddance on the way to middle school with my mom. We both fell in love with it. And she bought me the CD. And imagine my state of shock as Nice Guys Finish Last obliterated any chances of Nimrod being a full album of good riddances. Or, nice little acoustic ballads. Nice Guys probably satisfied fans of Dookie, but they probably had their suspicions about it. It's guitar, bass, and drums, and snotty and poetic. The guys aren't breaking out the bongos or harmonicas or any of that new stuff just yet. In terms of the album being a concept, even Green Day themselves were talking about doing a big rock opera concept record back in the 90s. There's a video, like an interview in their van of them talking about that. And this protagonist, this nice guy that we'll call him right now, his stance on the world is what this opening track is. He's tried. He's already tried. He's already done being a nice guy. He tried it, and it did not work out for him. Perhaps that it's time St. Jimmy is just up front and center and just already showing up. It's in the 90s. There's no point in waiting 7 songs to get fucked up and do fucked up shit. Tell me when it's time to lose my mind. Track 1 is a good boulevard to break down upon. Just lose your mind right off the bat. St. Jimmy's lost his mind already, and right now he's taking a look around at the people that surround him and seeing how they're trying to be good, they're trying to live moral lives, and he's laughing at them because he's a demon. Hitching a Ride is one of Green Day's strongest singles, period, ever, from any era of Green Day. Billy's poetic lyrics are coming through in aces on this beast, and this is just... Hitching a Ride is a huge point in Green Day's career. This is not a punk rock song. This is a hard-hitting, hard rock song, and they take their insomniac snark that they learned and pair it with Lennon-McCartney quality material. There's the battle between desperation and swagger, all kinds of swishing around in the bottle of your favorite Poison, Green Day juice, and Billy Joe's noggin. Both Nice Guys Finish Last and Hitchin' are very much from the point of a spectator taking in the atrocities around you and kind of acknowledging the state of things, the state of the world. In our concept theory, Hitchin' a Ride is the holiday of Nimrod, kind of a party anthem with this whole nihilism thing going down your hatch. And as you experience this, you are the one-eyed bastard moving forward in the narrative of Nimrod. Now we are at the Grouch. And you know what? We're going to talk about these guys a little bit too. Maybe in a future video. That's very interesting, these guys. Maybe the Green Day artwork. The whole video series, maybe. I don't know. Green Day artwork. But you're a one-eyed bastard. The next song is about another character, the Grouch. And no, this one is not from Billy Joe's perspective. Otherwise, that line about his dad would be kind of brutal. The Grouch is one of the earliest instances of Billy Joe branching out and writing from a new perspective. While it's filled with obscenity, my goodness. Do you guys remember when Green Day played this live on TV? It was so cool that even though it was really kind of raunchy and obscenity filled, even my parents thought that was funny that Green Day did that. Like, they just went on live TV, played that, and then got the heck out of there. While there are tons of bleep words, the Grouch is kind of a poppy shift from Green Day's earlier work, with Mike thumping a mean bass line as Billy Joe's very, very clean guitar work just, whew. Even Trey is embracing that they are pop stars at this point in their discography. You could argue that the Grouch is where it begins. They were using the obscenities to kind of mask the fact that this is the point. Maybe that some people could say this is when Green Day lost it. This is when Green Day sell out. And they're covering it up with bad words. But I've got to spin this into a concept album narrative. That's what we're doing. This Grouch character, he's been partying with Billy Joe's character, but as things get dark in kind of a dose album kind of way, the party goes sour. Billy, who is the hero of Nimrod, or the anti-hero, his girlfriend dumps him for being too drunk, ruining her birthday, leading us into Wake Me Up When September Ends territory on Nimrod, earlier than the American Idiot narrative on Redundant. And Redundant uses, this is, again, the early instance of Green Day putting in different things into their music. Beachy power pop has arrived, and it will show up time and time again through Green Day's career. They're not a beach band. They're not like the Beach Boys, but they could be. They could be if they wanted to be. They could be Black Sabbath. They could be the Beach Boys. Long before the trilogy or the Savior's B-sides, Redundant did it first. Baby Eyes. Redundant is the song. The music video is inspired by Zbigniew Rabizgi, I said that right, in his short film, or their short film, Tango, where background characters repeat mundane tasks in a loop, reinforcing the song's monotony and lyrics, where Billy tackles the struggle to break complacency in a romantic star within a circle. Another incredibly strong single from late to mid-90s Green Day. It really packs a punch, even with the repetitive style of Redundant. I think it's something that maybe 2025 Green Day could look to aspire to with their more repetitive stuff. On Green Day Presents American Nimrod, Billy pukes on his chucks and is content with the same old shtick again. That's where the character is at on Redundant. It has caused rifts in his relationship, but right now he's happy to puke on his Chuck Taylors. And Scattered, oh my God. I just want to make out with Scattered. It's so good. Oh yeah, I've got them tied up in here. We're going to make out with them. Yeah, that's not CG back there, baby. This is real. This is real life. Scattered is one of the best songs of Time, Space, Coffee. And it's personal. It's written, to me, it feels like it's written for a child instead of lost love, but it could be a romantic. It could be romantic. It could be for a child. It could be kind of two stories intertwined in the same lyrical just gold mine. Scattered just feels so good and pure. And leave a comment explaining the relationship that Scattered reminds you of, because that's like, for me, it's just really good. I want to hear your story though. But now the narrative is, we're going to get goofy. We're going to get extremely goofy. We're going to get extremely ridiculous and maybe a little offensive. The narrative gets weird here on Scattered. Using photographs, Billy Joe and his long lost love and or love child, they use old photographs taken by Nickelback. Chad Kroger from Nickelback is snapping Polaroid pictures. Shake it, shake it, shake it like a Polaroid picture. And they teleport through space and time and coffee. It gets a little sticky. But you can stay dressed. It's not like Terminator. They open a gateway to the past, the present, and the future. And Jilly Bow Leg Week, that's his name now as he time travels, and his sidekick, let's call his sidekick Jake, they go into the past and they tell the prophecy. Now, Jake could one day become the Snoop, like that big head in Doctor Who. Pow! Right in the kisser. Now, this is the prophecy that Billy Joe and Jake, that could be the floating head in Power Rangers or the Who. The insignificance of man. This is what they're saying. The insignificance of man cannot be overstated. And when the things he deems important vanish before his eyes, and vanity comes face to face with mortality, those who do not evolve will find themselves disconnected from the network. So when the year of Money 2020 as Mach 2 approaches, remember one thing. The message gets a little blurry here with the time travel. In order to time travel, you have to you almost have to cause an explosion, a very dangerous explosion with black holes, just obliterating two different places in two different times, two different spaces, and sometimes it gets extremely dicey. It hurts a little bit. You get spaghetti noodled. So we don't know that they said "we told you so" at the end of it. We don't know that. But then Jilly Bow Leg Week, he finds Mrs. Armstrong, Mrs. Leg Week, and takes her to the movies that they've already seen. Which rumor has it, because we've still got a little bit of ability to kind of trace his time traveling adventures. Him and the missus, they go see The Wizard of Oz, followed by a matinee of Rumblefish. So, very good films. I suggest those. All the Time is about time traveling, obviously. Billy Joe goes and finds a young and healthy past version of the Grouch, and his name is Ted. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Anyway, Ted, watch out for the rugs, because this is Ted from Breaking Bad universe. All the Time, the song, harkens back to old school Green Day. So it's possible if any of those hard-headed punk rockers with their mohawks and their denim vest are soldiering their way, if they ventured this far into Nimrod, All the Time might be the first song that they do not skip. Just like they've all been puking on their Chuck Taylors the whole time. They're puking up punk rock food, of course. And as Jilly Bow Leg Week and his growing gang of miscreants, they travel through time, and sometimes he gets different companions to join him in the TARDIS. The party never stops, right? It doesn't have to stop, and All the Time is about self-destruction through the decades. And it's time to take a step out of the songs to look at the broader scope of Nimrod for a second, because we've got a time machine. We can do whatever we want, right? Meow. It does seem like there's a back and forth on Nimrod between the overindulgence and the consequences of overindulgences. So, overindulgence, consequence, overindulgence, consequence. So that's one of our key themes as we move throughout the funhouse world of time travel, booze, and getting dragged, queened through the mud. So that's just a little bit about the overall chaos of Nimrod. Worry Rock is another Green Day classic, a staple crafted from their love of power pop and surf pop, and it's absolutely insane that Green Day went into the studio with no lyrics for Nimrod, and Billy just kind of willy-nilly wrote this stuff off the cuff, because while there are one or two better Green Day albums lyrically, the songs, it's just the songs like Worry Rock that make Nimrod a timeless classic. Worry Rock, just freaking, don't listen to it now because you're watching this. But if you have a time machine, you could watch my video and then travel back in time and then listen to Worry Rock. I just pulled this out from 1997. This CD is scratched up beyond belief. It plays better than the garbage CDs I get now from 2025. Oh God, this hurts. I'm so old. Green Day fans are old now. Where are we at? Okay, so how old is Nimrod now? It's 27 years, 7 months, 15 days, 664,680 hours, or 39,880,800 minutes. That's how old Nimrod is as of filming this video. So for you, you'd have to go back in time a little bit because I'm not live streaming this. That would be insanity. But so to the minute, Nimrod was released 39,880,800 minutes ago. That's a lot of time for hitching a ride to loop endlessly in your brain. Because I've been listening to Nimrod pretty consistently since I was a little stupid punk mother kid in my room with a little boom box and headphones and watching the Blair Witch Project and playing Nintendo 64 and Super Nintendo and listening to Kid Rock and got like Silly Putty and G.I. Joe's in there. Core memories. It's been a while. It's been a while. That's not Green Day, is it? That's Stoned. Narratively, there is no kissing as Billy Joe rubs his Worry Rock with bloody palms in a back alley with a one-eyed bastard lurking in the background. Billy Joe is alone and getting into some really bloody brawls on Worry Rock. He's got a Nokia flip phone and trying to call his girlfriend, blathering about having a bad time. He really wants to talk to her, but it's a bad time. There's bulletproof robots and mobsters. I'm pretty sure they're bulletproof. And it's a knockdown, dragged out fight with fat lips and open wounds. Oh God, do you realize what I just did there? Weezer, Sum 41, Presidents of the United States of America. I can't fit in at all. I can't fit in all the references. And just when Jilly Bo Legweed thought that he had one, when all Worry Rocks are dust and all his enemies were kissing his ring, a creature approaches. It's got a bill. It's got webbed feet. It's a platypus. A platypus. Billy Joe is here. The platypus is here. Billy Joe Armstrong and the platypus grab their lightsabers and they begin fighting. Billy Joe is Darth Maul. The platypus is Tim, by the way. Tim Yohannan. Tim Yohannan, the platypus. Only the punk rockers will get it, and they're not watching this because I'm not punk rock. I'm a bald guy wearing clothes from Walmart, sitting in kind of there's Rubik's Cubes everywhere. There's a baby Yoda up there with decapitated baby Yoda. And there's a rapper, a sticker from this cool rapper, Two Stoned. When I went to see Riff Raff live with my ex-wife. So I don't think punk rockers are watching this. They teleport. Billy Joe and the platypus teleport with their Power Ranger powers, their morphers, up to Elon Musk's space station. The radio was left on, bankrupting the power from the low, but that's okay. The two nemesis just need a good background for their Mortal Kombat style fight as they scream obscenities at each other. I'm not really going to go into the obscenities here on YouTube. YouTube will go, oh yeah, bring the belt sander. Anyway, the next song on Nimrod, oh my God, it's just going to make me go grab my guitar. Uptight. Uptight, uptight. That's not even the next song, is it? We're still talking about platypus. Never mind. All the songs on Nimrod are... So, when I was talking, I said never mind about the guitar, because all the songs on Nimrod, with the exception of Uptight, and there's a few, but all the songs on Nimrod are extremely hard to play on guitar, because Billy's doing this insane thing on guitar called a B chord, and I can't be doing all that. You can't play a B chord. You just don't have enough fingers. I mean, like, I'm sitting there like, ah! I can play Jinx on guitar. I can play Good Riddance. But all the other songs on Nimrod, they're just some Jimi Hendrix shit. I can't play them. They're too hard. Platypus is angry. The platypus is very angry to be lightsabered in Mortal Kombat battle on Elon Musk's spaceship. The song is angry. It's got Insomniac sounds, but Mike and Billy's harmonies and Trey Cool's drums, it sounds like they might all need new instruments after recording this. Holy Toledo. You can feel Mike's fingers bleeding onto his thighs as Billy's screaming like a lunatic. And there's a little, hey! in the mix too, coming soon on American Idiot, that those hays are present in the Nimrod. Billy lightsabers Tim the platypus, and remember we talked about, I'm going to show you Yoda. Ow! Ow! And this I feel like Nimrod deserves a weird album review like this. That's kind of what's going on here. So the platypus has been defeated by Jilly Bo Leg Week, and we're getting a lot of the elements that do show up in American Idiot. Billy lightsabered Tim the platypus's head off, defeating 924 Gilman Street and the entire punk community, the entire genre, forever now. Punk rock is dead. I want a Ferrari. I want a Ferrari. So, Now, Jilly Bow Legweek, he's very uptight about decapitating the platypus. It was really gross, and it made a lot of Billy Joe's lady friends just leave the country and join the Peace Corps. So, because it was so gross and awful and disgusting, but here's the thing. Here's what made it even worse. Little Timmy Yohahan, the platypus, he kind of had a point about Billy Joe selling out. What with all the Slurpees and the coffee and the books about Evanescence and Guns N' Roses watches and Hello Kitty iPods cases. None of that is punk rock, Jilly Bow. The platypus was a good guy. And you were his father. Whether I'm talking to you or Jilly Bow Legweek himself, I'll leave that up to you. So due to this traumatic stuff going on, Jilly Bow Legweek is uptight. He's a nag with a gun, yeah, all night. He's been uptight all night. He's a son of a gun. I don't know how, but Billy Joe's a bullet. Life is a bullet. He wakes up on the wrong side of the floor. For all you history buffs, that's the literal right side of the floor. He makes his way to the front door. It's not a nice door. He's been squatting at this place for some time. He feels time dilate around him and realizes the grouch is actually the platypus's father, which makes him the grouch. Oh my God. Oh my God. Billy hops in his car and drives towards the boulevard because that's the only road he's ever known. But there's signs up ahead. Dead end. Do not pass. Warning. Severe brain damage. Construction and the whatnot. He tries another road, but he doesn't know of any other road. He just drives back and forth all night, thinking about his mistakes, his self-destructive behavior, the platypus murdering, all the women that have dunked him and never gave him a chance after dunking him. And he starts to cry like a man. Life is damaged and brutal and so painful. To deal with his trauma, Jilly Bow Legweek forms a band, the likes of which you've never heard before. Das Rodeo's Hot Shots. And they smash it like Belushy and the Kool-Aid Man through a wall in The Simpsons. So they're smashing through walls through the Simpsons living room. Congratulations on 40 years. But this band, the Das Rodeo Hot Shots or whatever I said, they smash through the Simpsons living room like a couch gag gone wrong. And they're vibing, getting stoned. They're getting too stoned. I don't know who these guys are. I know this guy. I think he's in there. Oh. They bring the bongos. They bring some bongos to bang and tambourines, trumpets. Billy, Raj, and Al, that's the band as it is now in this time period. And they all feel so chill in their entire life. They're just stoned out of their ever-loving booties. And soon, the last ride in, Jamie, gives way to Three Jones. So that they're just like, do. That's what last ride in sounds like. It gives way, the song, they craft that song and it gives way to three grown men laying in the floor like with Natalie Merchant, and their instruments flopped over their bodies and their minds lost in a fuzzy Green Day trance. I'm so high right now, I don't think that I'll ever come down. Jinx. Someone in my life right now is obsessed with doing jinx when we say the same thing. And it's just not a game. that I ever learned to play. I'm learning, though. I'm learning in 2025. I'm learning how to play Jinx. I'm trying. I always lose, but I'm trying. I am not high right now. Jinx is a dookie sounding track if there ever was one. It's about the night that Billy came home forever. It's about the night that Billy met his fatal long lost love, Trey Cool. They wrap each other up. I don't know where I was going with that typing sentence there. They get married, and Billy Joe does that weird mouth noise to make Trey cool. Billy and Trey's relationship is far from perfect. It might not be perfect, especially with all the voodoo shakes that Billy puts on Trey Cool at night when they have bad sex. But if you're counting, or if you count counting as vocal, if you count 1, 2, 3 as vocals, and I do because I have OCD, then Trey Cool does some vocals on Jinx as he screams "Uno, dos, tres" or something like that. So let's let them torture each other with their crosses and whips and belt sanders. And I'm out of here. It's getting a little uncomfortable. Track 12, wherever it is on here, track 12 almost ruins the entire album. It ruins an almost, actually, a perfect track list. Aside from track 12, Hashinka is the worst thing that Green Day or any band, any musician has ever put to tape. It's vile, putrid trash, and we really shouldn't even talk about it in one of my videos. It's an embarrassment of humanity. Billy settled into married life with Trey Cool, and then on February 16th, he runs into a girl named Hashinka. We're going to talk about this trash. And not early in the day, not in midday. They met when it's too damn late. It's got to be like 8 p.m. or right around that. Nobody could stay up later than 8 or 9 p.m. Billy is in the middle of asking her if she knows of any great pizza places, and suddenly she's dropping her cheap hat on the ground. She's dropping her pack of smokes on the ground, and this girl just boom, Roadrunners. Just takes off running. She's silent running. Silent running, running away. And Billy Willie has to ask Michael Pritchard for a light and for the nearest Little Caesars location, because this girl has left him without the ability to light his products and without a good pizza recommendation. Oh, this is uncomfortable, but I am making eye contact with you guys, so that's good. It's just very uncomfortable down there. Hashinka is the worst thing that Green Day have ever done. It smells bad. It's anti-human, anti-here, guttural horror nightmare fuel, and I'm trying to get it removed from Spotify and actually removed from my CD copy, my vinyl copy. I don't want you or I to ever listen to Hashinka again because, like I said, it's the worst thing that humanity or any living entity in the universe, the multiverse, it's the lowest that the universe could ever go. The lowest that we could ever hear. It's the most horrible thing in all of existence in any universe. Billy finds all of this odd. This whole thing, his whole life has been very odd. And he cleans up his act just long enough to suffice. And in his sober solidarity, he begins listening to a lot of Bob Dylan and blowing a harmonica. His harmonica. As Billy Joe's 1968 Mercury Monterey convertible breaks down on the Boulevard of Broken Dreams with smoke billowing out of the engine. Jilly Bo gets out, his heart beating. It's the only thing that's beating. And walks alone. He's walking alone. Get it? We're talking about the song Walking Alone on Nimrod. The cleaner life is a better one, or so they say. But where is everybody? That girl, she ran away. And the bassist in the distance says, that sounds like a one-taker. Which we've determined that's a lie because we have the demos. You could argue that maybe they did a bunch of takes and then like when they got the good one, they're like, oh, that's the one-taker. I think Mike Dirnt saying garbage like that, ruining the song, I think maybe that's why nobody likes him. Walking Alone sounds like it's straight out of Yoshi's Island, the Mario video game. And I didn't mention it earlier on Worry Rock, but Worry Rock makes me think of Super Mario as well. The rock flower guys that crush you, that's Worry Rock to me. The harmonica in Jilly Bo's voice trade off the lead spot, and never the two shall meet. Ending with drumsticks hitting the floor and a new start on the Boulevard of Broken Dreams for our frontman, writ large. Well, that was a Blink-182 thing. It's not even funny. While I do thoroughly enjoy every track from Nimrod, except Hashinka, there are a few songs that I haven't quite heard as much as the others over the 27 years and 880. There's a few songs that I typically don't listen to a whole lot from Nimrod. We got Reject, Take Back, and Prosthetic Head are the ones that if I'm going to skip parts of Nimrod, those are the ones. They are the ones. Oh, is that the network? We are the ones. Those songs get overlooked for some reason. I don't dislike any of them. I don't even dislike Hashinka, if I'm being real. But it sucks. Hashinka. You don't like Hashinka. You don't like it. You don't like it. You're going to leave a comment saying that you like it. I feel it in my lazy bones. But you're a liar. All comments defending Hashinka, they're fake. Don't believe them. Don't type them. Don't type them. You know, it's just something's got to come in last right in, right? Something's got to come in last right in. Reject, 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 reject. What if we said it like that? Reject instead of reject. Reject. Reject returns us to the earlier sounds of Green Day. Dookie and Insomniac could house Reject, and they would accept it. It's just straight ahead early years Green Day. It's a good song. Reject from Nimrod is an anthem about defiance, conformity. Jilly Bo Legweek actually wrote it in response to a letter from a concerned parents who was very upset with Green Day using profanity in their words. And instead of talking it out civilized, Billy Joe replied with a zinger. I do what I want, and you do what you're told. I am heavy metal. You cannot destroy the metal. I wonder if that person ever had a change of heart. Probably not. They're probably out there listening to Taylor Swift and living their best life. More power to you. I tried to get into Taylor Swift. I just couldn't do it. Listening to too much Nimrod. Lyrically, Reject is riddled with frustration about societal expectations and self-righteous authority figures. The chorus, You Reject All American, shows a rejection of mainstream ways of being, kind of backing up Green Day's punk ethos, even as they destroyed that community. The song fits with Nimrod's themes of rebellion, individualism, and a little bit of self-determination in there as well. It's one of their most unapologetic songs. And if you guys want to just vent in the comments right here about, do you think Reject is like a highlight from Green Day? Because it's just one that I kind of just gloss over a lot of the times. In this crazy concept storyline, Jilly Bo Legweek is in line at the ice cream shack. It's the shrimp and ice cream shack. And he gets into a screaming match with a fellow ice cream and shrimp purchaser. Have you ever combined ice cream with shrimp? But you see, despite being at the back of the line, that's where Billy Joe is always at. He's always at the back of the line. He wants to purchase all of the ice cream for him and his rich friends. And he's telling people in the line ahead of him and people outside of the line not to buy any ice cream because it's all his. At first, he tries to buy them out of the line because that's what you do when you're rich, right? But it's 182 degrees outside, blinking. And when the people start asking him for $500 bills with Donald Trump on the front of them, well, Billy starts humming Pink's hit song, "So What? I'm Still a Rock Star," as he, you guessed it, pulls out his big old lightsaber and slices and dices everyone in line. They're all dead. They won't be laughing when they all get a thigh. Bada bing, bada bing, bada bing. I'm pink, I'm pink, I'm pink. Billy Joe goes to prison for lightsabering without a license on a platypus, and the 800 trillion people in line at the ice cream truck. That's how many people eat. Lightsaber, bada bing, lightsaber. He will serve the remainder of Nimrod in prison as he is sentenced to 20 years, which will go by so fast. Wake him up when you're in prison. I don't need to pull out the CD. It's an Offspring reference, you loser. Billy Joe Armstrong goes to prison, and as the Offspring say, when you're in prison, you have to be tough. So Billy screams at the top of his lungs, "Take back! Take back! Take back!" as he goes after the biggest, baddest guy in the prison, one Sean Diddy Combs. It's kind of a wimpy celebrity prison, so that was Jilly Bo's only option. I think Carrot Top was in there serving some time. But Take Back is Green Day's heaviest song, I think, and their only venture into hardcore thrash punk, as those scenes are dead. It's easy to imagine, Bad Religion reference, what Green Day could have turned into had their biggest hit been Take Back instead of that little acoustic little ditty later on the album. Billy loses one eye in these brutal prison fights and is known through the Coma City Corrections Unit as the One-Eyed Bastard. King for a Day is now where we're at, and if you strip away the horns and the humorous lyrics, it could have been a run-in-the-mill, kind of average Green Day song. It's got a golden spirit, though, that lifts it above that with the smiling star underneath, all the heartache, and the band, they play it so much live that it doesn't feel like a deep cut, but more like it's one of the guys, like a hit song for the ages. It's goofy as heck, but for almost teenaged me, it was a magical moment. I think I was 11, 12, and it really cemented Green Day as a band that could pull off humor, heartbreak, kick-ass music, all melted into one beach ball. And that's what King for a Day is for me. As for our narrative position on this album, with Jilly Bo now in prison, he and the other inmates, they're all tired of the orange jumpsuits, so they decide to throw a party. I could be King for a Day in this video, right? We don't have time for wardrobe. If my wardrobe person comes and helps me, I'll do it. But so they decide to throw a party in the prison. The guards, the warden from Minecraft, the Snoo, Hubert, Mumbles, everybody's invited to the Queen for As Long As You Want party, where everybody gets a leather thong. There's belt sanders flying and men screaming yeehaw, and everybody just wearing whatever they want. It's a beautiful moment. I was gonna fake cry here as well, but I'm not going to. Maybe I'll fake cry for Good Riddance. Maybe I'll real cry. But now we're at Good Riddance, Time of Your Life, the song that started the insanity and immediately gained notoriety for its title. A lot of video channels and stations and fans and family and haters were referring to this song as Time of Your Life. But then the real fans started whispering conspiratorially, "Did you hear that it's actually called Good Riddance? And just TV and radio are too scared to call it that, because this song is not a love song. It's not a prom anthem. It's not a high school graduation anthem. It's a screw you, burn in hell, you witch. Get lost. I hate you." I hope you had a good time, because Good Riddance to bad rubbish. I'm sure a lot of haters called this song bad rubbish too. Like, give me my 2 or 3 minutes back. Bad rubbish. I know my family got a lot of mileage out of that insider knowledge too. I'm an insider. Especially considering the internet wasn't really a thing. It wasn't quite popping off just yet. So how did my mom and I just stumble across this information? I guess she was watching MTV. I was kind of nerding out about Green Day, so we kind of put the pieces together. So that's really cool. A really cool moment in history, kind of like the Manson rib thing from back in those days too. Good Riddance is a classic. I can't pick a guitar up without playing it. It's just a perfect song. I won't torture you guys, but I got guitars laying everywhere. Yeah, Billy Joe is messing up at the beginning, kind of like dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun. And that little part, it's kind of like the Grouch, like as experimental in Nimrod as Green Day were being, they still, whether it was natural or forced, they were putting those elements in to make this record kind of dangerous, even as Green Day themselves were becoming safer in a much needed kind of way. Narratively, though, we got to get goofy again. Narratively, Good Riddance is what all the guys in prison are saying to Billy Joe as he exits the prison because he did his time. My notes said to sing that like Shoplifter, but I went with a Korn direction. So now I have Shoplifter stuck in my head. He's done his sentence. He's committed all the crimes. That was a Queen reference. And as the anthropomorphic Time Man grabs Billy Joe by the eyeball and drags him down the boulevard of broken dreams, Willie Bo waves goodbye to Mr. Fork, snapping photographs with Chad Kroeger with his Polaroid camera that he borrowed from Android. Android 3000? Andrew, Angie, Andy, Andre 3000, the famous jazz pianist. Billy contemplates his life as a free man, walking out his front door and ready for a brand new day. But just as he is about to turn off, completely off of the Boulevard of Broken Dreams, there, standing between him and Warningsville, is a shadowy figure. A shadowy figure with something extremely large on their head. What could it be? It looks like a villager from Minecraft. Is that a prosthetic?